Waking up one morning to find a massive crack running through the ground, miles long, deeper than a 5-story building, and growing every single day. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi disaster movie, right? But this isn't fiction. This is happening right now in Africa. Scientists have confirmed that the continent is slowly tearing itself apart, and in the coming millions of years, a brand new ocean will form right where land exists today. Think about that for a second. Countries that are currently landlocked like Uganda and Zambia could one day have their own coastlines. That's not just a minor shift. It's an entire new ocean being born right before our eyes. But here's where things get even crazier. This exact same process is what created the Atlantic Ocean millions of years ago. Back then, what is now Africa and South America were one massive supercontinent, but tectonic forces ripped them apart, creating the vast ocean that separates them today. And now history is repeating itself. So what's causing this? How long will it take? And what does this mean for the future of Africa and the rest of the world? Buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into one of the most mind-blowing transformations happening on our planet right now. In 2005, something extraordinary happened in Ethiopia's Afar region. Practically overnight, a gigantic 35-mile-long crack appeared in the ground. It wasn't just an ordinary earthquake fault line. Scientists noticed that the way the crack formed was eerily similar to how ocean basins are created. What they discovered was groundbreaking. Africa isn't one solid landmass. Instead, it sits on multiple tectonic plates: the Nubian plate, the Somali plate, and the Arabian plate. These plates have been slowly drifting apart for millions of years, but now they're reaching a tipping point. As these plates move, they create rift valleys, giant splits in the Earth's crust. The East African Rift, stretching from Ethiopia all the way down to Mozambique, is one of the most active rift zones in the world. And here's the kicker. Scientists estimate that in the next 5 to 50 million years, this rift will be completely submerged by water, cutting East Africa off from the rest of the continent and creating a brand new ocean. At first, it might sound like an exciting natural event. New coastlines, new islands, and potentially new trade routes. But before you start planning your dream vacation to Uganda's future beaches, let's talk about the catastrophic consequences that come with this transformation. As these tectonic plates continue pulling apart, the land in between doesn't just crack, it collapses. That means more frequent and more powerful earthquakes. Already, the East African Rift is one of the most seismically active zones in the world, with volcanoes regularly erupting across Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, and beyond. One of the most dangerous volcanoes in the region is Mount Nyiragongo, located in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Its lava moves faster than any other volcano on Earth, capable of flowing at speeds of 60 miles per hour, fast enough to outrun a human. If Africa's split accelerates, volcanic eruptions like these could become even more frequent, devastating entire communities. And that's not even the worst part. When seawater eventually floods into the rift, it will mix with existing freshwater lakes and rivers, potentially wiping out key water sources that millions of people rely on. Agriculture, drinking water, and entire ecosystems could be thrown into chaos, leaving millions without access to one of the most basic human needs. As if that wasn't enough, there's another major concern. What lies beneath the land that's splitting apart? Africa is rich in natural resources. Oil, minerals, and precious metals are buried deep within the land that is now tearing apart. And history has shown us one thing: whenever valuable resources are at stake, conflict is never far behind. Right now, Africa's resource wealth has already led to geopolitical tensions, economic exploitation, and even wars. But once the land starts splitting for real, new ocean floors will expose untapped reserves of oil and minerals. Powerful nations and massive corporations will undoubtedly race to claim ownership, potentially sparking new geopolitical conflicts. Could this be the start of a new wave of resource wars? Only time will tell. But Africa's split isn't just a regional issue, it could have worldwide effects. Every time tectonic plates shift, they don't just change landscapes, they change weather patterns, ocean currents, and even global climates. If Africa's continental divide affects ocean currents, it could have cascading consequences for weather systems across the globe. The Indian Ocean's monsoon patterns, which impact agriculture in Asia and Australia, could be thrown off balance. Even regions as far away as Europe and the Americas might feel the effects of these shifting geological forces. And here's something even more unsettling. Scientists have only scratched the surface of understanding how major geological shifts like this interact with global climate change. What if Africa's split isn't just an isolated event? What if it's part of a much bigger, much more unpredictable cycle of Earth's transformations? The more we study these shifts, the more we realize how little we actually know about the planet we live on. While Africa's split is happening over millions of years, it's a chilling reminder of how powerful and unpredictable our planet truly is. Just look at the devastating earthquakes that hit Turkey and Syria in 2023. The ground shook with such force that entire cities were reduced to rubble in seconds, claiming over 55,000 lives. The destruction was so massive that scientists are still trying to grasp at the full impact. Or take the recent volcanic eruption of Mount Ruang in Indonesia, which sent ash and lava soaring 40,000 feet into the air, shutting down airports and forcing thousands to evacuate. These events show us that even though we live in an age of advanced technology, we are still at the mercy of Earth's raw power. And now, with Africa literally splitting in half, we're witnessing history repeat itself, but this time in real time. The transformation of Africa won't happen overnight. It might take millions of years before a new ocean officially forms, but make no mistake, this change is already underway. The question is, what would humanity do about it? Will we prepare for the seismic shifts, volcanic eruptions, and resource conflicts that are sure to come? Or will we ignore the warning signs until it's too late? One thing is for sure, our planet is constantly evolving, and whether we like it or not, we're all part of this massive transformation. So, what do you think? Could Africa's split trigger even bigger global changes? How will this affect the future of humanity? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this deep dive fascinating, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the most mind-blowing discoveries happening in our world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.